Java now has a new API for HTTP3. How does this change the game for modern distributed microservices?
Yeah, again, this is about performance because, as I said, the way that HTTP3 works is switching from using TCP as the high level protocol to using UDP. And UDP allows you to be more efficient in terms of the way you send the packets. It still needs to have, there's still a bit of kind of extra stuff that goes on top of that because TCP is what's called a reliable protocol, meaning that you know that the packets that you're sending will be received in the order that you send them in. And there's a degree of a resend if necessary. So if a packet gets lost, it will be resent. UDP is basically an unreliable protocol, which means that if packets get lost, well, that's, too bad. And packets may not arrive in the right order. So HTTP3 has to then build on top of using UDP to give you that reliability. Because if you're sending web pages and if you're doing microservices, what you want is to be able to send data and that data to arrive in the form that you sent it. Doesn't really work very well if you don't get the right data. So it's HTTP3 solves those problems, but allowing you to use that higher performance protocol. So it's kind of a combination of things.
Now, structured concurrency is back in preview again. Give us a sense of the timeline here. How close are we to actually seeing the full realization for Project Loom?
Yeah, I would think that one is probably, it may be a full feature in the next release. Certainly, I would say by the release after, so what that be 28, yes. Certainly by 28, I'm sure structured concurrency will be in there. It is part of Project Loom, as you said, which is one of those large projects like Valhalla and Panama and so on. So we've had virtual threads, we've had structured concurrency, various things like that. So yes, they're kind of putting the finishing touches to the components in Project Loom. I think when I looked at the JEP, there wasn't any significant changes between the previous release and this one. So I would imagine that once people have had a look at that, they're happy with it, they will then finalize that.